Thank you, Honorable Burke. Start Mrs. Pelli. Mrs. Pelli. Honorable Burke.
Madam Speaker, it's significant that this report was considered in yesterday's committee on the first day of April. A farcical day for a farcical process leading to a farcical report. Yet, it's a report that sadly is not an April Fool's joke. Madam Speaker, this House generates stacks of reports, agendas and minutes of meetings which fill archives, servers and libraries. Much of it meaningless, expensive, full of nothing documents that change very little for our people, a waste. But every now and then, Parliament has the ability to take regular A4 paper and give it remarkable power, to change lives with laws, to table budgets, and because of the power in the Constitution and the Money Bills Act, gives Parliament the power to amend bad budgets. And yesterday we had the chance and almost the numbers to amend a bad budget. We could have fulfilled our constitutional duty to do so, to protect South Africans, to protect them from a budget that includes VAT increases, that doesn't move the needle enough for an efficient government that creates jobs and grows the economy. And that chance was spectacularly squandered. It was squandered by Action SA, the IFP, and the ANC, who voted on a version of a report which only came into existence hours after the meeting and the voting had concluded. Now, sure, supporters of this April Fool's Day farce are very quick to point out while they accepted the fiscal framework, they're making recommendations to relook at tax increases. Madam Speaker, the archives are full of reports with ignored recommendations. Why don't we ask the Auditor General how delinquent ANC local governments across the country respond to their recommendations year after year? Why don't we ask those who worked on the Zondo Commission what they think the effect of their recommendations has been? After all, the Zondo Commission detailed how the Honourable Joe Moswangani was complicit in state capture. Yet that honourable member is here with us today. He spoke just earlier. And he chaired the farcical, procedurally flawed meeting yesterday. Reports in the hands of ANC-led governments mean nothing. Let me be specific. Action SA took the votes it received from market-friendly and centre-right South Africans and sold them out
Honourable Member,
to support the framework for what?
Order, Honourable Burke. Can you take a seat? Honourable Member, what's the point of order?
No, thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'm raising on Rule 85. The Honourable Member is casting aspersion on Honourable Moswangani. He says Honourable Moswangani is complicit in terms of the state capture. So if you want to do that, he must bring a substantive motion. Thanks.
Honourable Member, I would listen to the Hansard and come back with the ruling. Honourable Makhlakis, what are you rising on now?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when you consider the Hansard, will you also consider that the Honourable Member actually quoted the Zondo report, which was a fact? Thank you.
Honourable Member, I said I will look at the matter and come back to the House with the ruling. Can you proceed, Honourable Burke?
Madam Speaker, I've consulted the Hansard dictionary on what casting aspersions means.
Honorable member, can you please proceed with your speech?
None of what I've said was false or misleading. It's all very well documented. And for me to damage your reputation, you need to have one.
Honorable member, on order, honorable member. I have said on the matter, because there was a point of order raised, I will come back to the House. So can you proceed with your speech on the report?
It's last stuff.
As I was saying, Madam Speaker, what did Action SA sell their voters out for? 5 minutes of media coverage? Promises of future cabinet positions?
Insults.
Certainly not to stop taxes, because those taxes and those increases are still very much baked into the fiscal framework. Action SA has said it's in Parliament to be a constructive opposition. Its only significant achievement so far is to support a report enabling an ANC anti-poor, anti-growth and anti-jobs VAT-based budget.
Go home. We hate the ANC when that's a man.
And so there are only two rational explanations for what they were thinking and what the IFP might have been thinking. Either they were the April Fools and they genuinely thought they were changing the budget with their flimsy, pointless recommendations, and they didn't come to the committee with even a basic understanding of the Money Bills Act. Or, alternatively, these parties knew exactly what they were doing and were trying to make South Africans the victims, selling us down the river for an ANC VAT-based budget. And either way, what the IFP and ASA did was treachery. The DA, on the other hand, is very clear about what we're doing, and we've been consistent, both in our intentions yesterday and through the course of the 7th administration. We joined this government to drive efficient spending, grow the economy and create jobs, not to enable the worst parts of the ANC. The ANC will have to turn to Action SA for that.
Kylie is poor.
We've been met with an ANC that's refused to upgrade the economy or to compromise. They don't want coalition partners. They want supplicants. Welcome, ASA.
Goodbye.
I will say one thing.
Order, honorable members.
I will say one thing about all the paper that Parliament generates, Madam Speaker. Even the reports and motions that achieve nothing do record our deeds or misdeeds. And what will they record now? Today, you, honourable members, have the same opportunity Action SA and the AFP had yesterday, and squandered either for cheap political points or as victims of the saddest April Fool's joke in parliamentary history. So your choice is as follows. 1, you can choose to vote for a report that keeps the fiscal framework as it is, that enshrines tax increases, enshrines bad economic policy, and supports the anti-poor, anti-growth and anti-jobs ANC budget. Or 2, you can support us in opposing this increase.
Support you.
As the DA, we will remain on course. We'll pursue an efficient government, growth and jobs, and vote firmly against this farce of a report. We reject it with the content it deserves.
We reject you.
It's not worth the paper it was printed on.
Angry about the blue lights, no?
Honorable Maude, yes. Honorable Van Rooyen, what's your point of order? Sorry, Honorable Reddy.
Madam Speaker, I rise in terms of Rule 65. You know, while the previous speaker, it's not every day that we like to hear what the DA has to say, and today we wanted to hear. but members were actually speaking into the mic, switching on their mic, and as a result of that, we were unable to hear the speaker. Now, the sound, the acoustics is extremely bad on this side of the House. I'm really appealing to you, Speaker, to get some control here and inform members that they should not howl so much so that we cannot hear the speakers. Please.
Thank you, Honorable Reddy. That point I made myself for all of you in this House to actually be in order. Honorable Mawute, take your